Meditations by Marcus Aurelius stands as one of the most remarkable philosophical works ever written. What makes it truly extraordinary is that it was never meant to be read by anyone except its author. These are the private thoughts of the most powerful man in the ancient world, writing to himself about how to stay good, rational, and human. Despite holding absolute power over the known world, Marcus chose to live by Stoic philosophy. Each night, often in his military tent on campaign, he wrote reflections in Greek. He titled these writings ta eis hauton, which translates to things to himself or writings to himself. We know them today as meditations. These weren't polished essays intended for publication. They're raw, honest reminders Marcus wrote to himself about how to handle the immense challenges he faced. You can feel his struggle in the words. He's not presenting himself as a perfect sage. He's a man trying desperately to maintain his principles under extraordinary pressure. One of the most powerful themes is the dichotomy of control. Marcus constantly reminds himself that he controls only his thoughts, judgments, and actions. Everything else, other people's opinions, external events, even his own body's health, lies outside his control. By accepting this distinction, he finds peace. He writes about not wasting energy fighting what cannot be changed, but instead focusing entirely on responding with virtue. Marcus reflects extensively on dealing with difficult people. He knew he would encounter those who were arrogant, ungrateful, dishonest, and malicious. Rather than letting them disturb his peace, he reminds himself that they act from ignorance. They cannot tell good from evil. More importantly, he recognizes that they share his common human nature. Their wrongdoing cannot actually harm him unless he allows it to disturb his inner tranquility. The theme of mortality runs throughout meditations. Marcus frequently practices memento mori, remember you must die. This isn't morbid depression, it's clarifying perspective. When you remember your time is finite, you stop wasting it. You focus on what truly matters. You treat each day as if it might be your last, living with purpose and intention. He writes about the brevity of life and the vastness of time. We exist for just a moment in the eternal flow. The fame we seek, the grudges we hold, the anxieties we harbor, all seem absurd when viewed against this cosmic perspective. Yet this doesn't lead him to nihilism. Instead, it directs him toward what has lasting value: virtue, wisdom, justice, and service to the common good. Marcus reminds himself constantly to focus on the present moment. The past is gone and cannot be changed. The future hasn't arrived and may never come as we imagine. The only time we truly possess is now. By staying present, we avoid the anxiety that comes from dwelling on what was or worrying about what might be. Throughout meditations, Marcus emphasizes that we are social beings meant to work together. He uses the metaphor of body parts. Just as your feet don't resent your hands, humans shouldn't obstruct each other. We're part of one larger organism, one human community. This recognition obligates us to act with justice and kindness toward others. The four Stoic virtues appear repeatedly: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. For Marcus, these aren't abstract ideals, but practical guides for daily decisions. Wisdom means seeing reality clearly. Justice means treating others fairly and fulfilling our social duties. Courage means facing difficulties without complaint. Temperance means exercising self-control and moderation. What makes meditation so powerful is its authenticity. Marcus isn't teaching others or building a philosophical system. He's struggling with real challenges: disappointing people, physical pain, exhausting responsibilities, the temptation to abuse power, the difficulty of maintaining principles when easier paths exist. His words carry weight because they come from lived experience at the highest level of human power. The language is often simple, sometimes repetitive. Marcus circles back to the same ideas because these are the truths he needs to internalize through repetition. This makes meditations feel less like a formal philosophy text and more like overhearing someone's most private thoughts. Reading meditations today, nearly 2,000 years later, feels remarkably relevant. The circumstances change, but human nature remains constant. We still face difficult people, mortality, the temptation to waste time on trivial matters, the challenge of maintaining our principles under pressure. Today, Meditations remains one of the most widely read works of ancient philosophy. Business leaders, athletes, artists, and ordinary people seeking wisdom turn to these private reflections of a Roman emperor. They find in his words practical guidance for living well, maintaining inner peace, and acting with virtue regardless of external circumstances. Marcus Aurelius never imagined his personal journal would be read by millions. Yet his honest struggle to live philosophically, captured in these private writings, may be his greatest legacy. More than his military victories or political achievements, these meditations on how to be human endure,